demanding deserts. Dictionary definitions describe deserts as dry lands that can support little to no life. Desert landscapes can be very different, though. A desert can have trees and cacti. A desert can even have rocky mountains. Deserts usually aren't dry all the time. Streams and rivers pass through some deserts, although they might remain dry for a long time. Many kinds of animals also live in the desert. All deserts have something in common. Compared with the rest of the world, deserts are arid places. They usually get less than 25.4 centimeters, 10 inches of rain or snow each year. Deserts tend to have dry soil and not much plant life. Although some deserts can get very cold, most deserts are sunny and hot. 5 of the 7 continents have hot deserts. Some deserts are small, but others are huge. Let's take off and jet around the world. We will learn about some of the world's deserts and the people who have called them home for thousands of years. People who live in the desert survive by adapting to their surroundings. They find food, water, and shelter as in any other place on Earth. For people who live in desert areas, though, the desert isn't just about getting by. The desert is so much more than that. It is home and a way of life. The Tohono O'odham and the Sonoran Desert. The Sonoran Desert stretches for 310,800 square kilometers, 120,000 square miles, across the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. Months may pass without any rain. Summer days can reach 49 degrees Celsius, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Winter nights can dip below freezing, however. It rains more in the Sonoran Desert than in any other desert in the world. The Tohono O'odham are indigenous people who live in the Sonoran Desert. Tohono O'odham means desert people. For the past few hundred years, people from other countries have taken away land that has belonged to O'odham for thousands of years. Today, the land that remains under O'odham control is divided among 4 groups. One is the Tohono O'odham Nation. The others are the O'odham people at the Gila River Indian Community, the Akchin Indian Community, and the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community. All 4 groups speak the O'odham language, but there are differences from tribe to tribe. O'odham people live in towns and cities, and on reservations. Over time, as the O'odham lost more of their land, they began to lead more modern lives. However, the O'odham people fought to keep their traditions over the years. Most O'odham include aspects of their traditions in their modern lives, such as farming, cooking traditional recipes, and basket making. Saguaro fruit harvesting. The saguaro cactus is an important part of O'odham culture. Each spring, beautiful flowers bloom on the cactus. Large red fruit then ripens in mid-June. The O'odham harvest the fruit from the tops of the giant cacti, which can reach upwards of 22 meters, 75 feet, using special tools. They turn the fruit into wine for their New Year ceremony in early July. The Bedouin and the Sahara. The Sahara stretches across northern Africa for 8.6 million square kilometers, 3.3 million square miles. It is very hot and dry in the Sahara. Bedouin people live in the Sahara and beyond. Because little rain falls in the Sahara, Bedouin have traditionally been nomadic. Bedouin are animal herders who roam the desert during the rainy winter. Traditionally, they moved from oasis to oasis and also dug wells for water. Bedouin returned with their herds to farmland during the dry summer. Traditional Bedouin homes were low, black, portable tents called baits, made out of goat hair or sheep's wool. Baits protect people from the sun, wind, and blowing sand. For the past 100 years, different countries have been taking over the land where Bedouin have lived for thousands of years. Many Bedouin are no longer nomadic. Instead, they live in houses and apartments in villages and cities. Mongolian nomads of the Gobi. The Gobi stretches for 1.3 million square kilometers, 500,000 square miles, from southern Mongolia to northern China in Asia. Mongolian nomads live in the Gobi. Traditionally, they roamed the Gobi sand dunes and Rocky Mountains in cold, windy weather, herding horses, sheep, goats, cattle, and camels. Traditionally, home in the Gobi was a round tent or yurt covered in felt called a ger. Inside, people were kept safe from cold nights and other weather. Fewer and fewer Mongolian nomads are left today. Harsh winters killed the herds of thousands of families. Changes in government also made life difficult for herders. Over the past 30 years, almost 500,000 nomads moved to the capital of Mongolia to look for work and food. Many brought their gers with them. A way of life. Each desert has different challenges, but the indigenous peoples who live there have always found their own solutions. In the past, people who lived in the desert relied only on what they could find around them. Today, much has changed, and many people lead modern lives in the desert. However, some continue to live as their ancestors once did, and many continue to celebrate the traditions of their desert communities. Life in the desert is as demanding as it is rewarding. The people who make the desert their home have deep respect for their surroundings. They use its offerings while also honoring its power and beauty.